Hey, Blake Williams with Battle Tested. This is story time number 46. You get what you ask for. And I don't mean you get what is coming to you. You know, sometimes we hear people say, well, he had that coming. He was asking for it, so I gave it to him. I don't mean that. I mean what you actually, using your mouth, verbally ask for. My favorite kind of cake is a pretty simple coconut cake with whipped cream on top and then sprinkled with shredded coconut. That is my favorite kind of cake. And 2 years ago, I come home from an event I believe I had done, and I'm excited to see that there's a cake in the refrigerator that looks a lot like my favorite kind of cake. However, it was missing the shredded coconut on top. And so my wife is telling me, happy birthday, I made your cake. I said, well, honey, where's the shredded coconut? That means it's my cake when it has the shredded coconut on it. She said, well, you know, I and the kids, we don't like shredded coconut. You're the only one that does. So I decided to make the cake the way that I felt the majority of the people in the family would actually eat it. And I thought, well, it's my birthday, right? Shouldn't the cake be made the way I want? It's my birthday. It's not their birthday. It's not your birthday, it's mine. But I got the cake that wasn't quite what I wanted. And to make the story even funnier, that next week, while the cake was in the refrigerator, yes, did eat some of that cake. Nobody else ate any of the cake. So even though it was made for their particular taste, nobody else had a single solitary bite of that cake. So this past year, I asked for the cake to be made the way I wanted the cake to be made. And thanks to my niece Emma, she made the cake that I wanted with the coconut sprinkles on the top. But I had to ask for it, and that's not a bad thing. We sometimes have to ask for those things that we really want. If we want them to be done the way that we really want them to do, we have to ask people for those things. A lot of us are uncomfortable asking for certain things because we're afraid of what the answer might be. Hey coach, I want to be a starter. What is it going to take for me to realize that? What else do I need to do to become a starter? And maybe you're a long way from that, and you're going to hear some news that maybe you don't want to hear. You got to gain X amount of weight, you got to lose X amount of weight, you got to get this much stronger, this much faster, and it means you've got more work to do. Maybe some of you really want that raise from your job, and you're hoping that maybe today is the day that my boss wakes up and he or she says, you know what, Blake needs that raise. Man, he's been killing it. Let me go give him that $5,000 a year raise. Doesn't happen like that very often. Whenever I, in the corporate world, wanted a raise, I usually had to go and ask for it. And then we'd have the discussion about, do you really deserve that? Obviously I did. We need to ask for things. Coaches, do you ask your players to do certain things for you? And I know that often you do, but are you asking them specifically, hey, this is exactly what I want to do. Can you do this for me? I need you to be this type of leader. Can you do those things specifically to do those things? Let's not just hope that they do it, because oftentimes I feel like we as people, we sometimes maybe test people, especially our spouses. We're pretty good at that. But we want to see, well, do they know me well enough just to do what they know I want, right? They should just know, and they just do. Often they don't, and so we fail the test that we've been given, or they fail the test that we give them. Don't be afraid to ask. Ask, right? Communicate. How do we communicate those things that we want others to do, or that we want people to do for us? We ask. There is power in the asking. I need to do a better job of it. Hopefully, maybe you'll find some ways that you can do it as well, and I hope that you have a great week.